Hi guys. So, thought I would crank out one more flip through of a junk journal that was completed recently, within the last few days. Although a lot of the journals that I've been working on, I actually built or put together for the most part over the last 4 or 5 months. So I have about 15, 16 of them that are sort of halfway finished. Anyway, so this one, I really like the way it turned out. Kind of messy and junky and chunky. I love that crackle paste that I use on the covers of some of the books. This was an old Reader's Digest book that the spine was not holding together very well, so I just cut the covers off and then built my own spine using this is duck cloth or really heavy duty canvas that I buy at Joann's, and I just coated it with a little bit of gesso and glued the front and back covers to that, and there's a piece on the inside and the outside, so it's pretty sturdy. And then there's 4 signatures in this book, just held together with some cotton string. Yeah, so it's pretty sturdy. Anyway, what am I trying to say? The crackle paste is really fun to work with. I'm actually a little bit addicted to it. I just like the way it makes the book look really old, almost like it was painted using egg tempera or something, and then cracked, and I don't know. Well, anyway, real quickly, so I coat the front and back with the crackle paste, and then once it's dried for a couple of days, which I think it does take a couple of days to get the most out of the crackling, then I'll sprinkle a little bit of walnut ink crystals on there, just a teeny tiny bit, and then spray it lightly with water, just to kind of activate those crystals, and they dissolve really quickly in water. And then I'll kind of saturate it, and I'll sort of just kind of tilt it around and until it gets in all of the little crackles and stuff. This one actually had a layer of texture paste applied through a stencil originally, and I didn't like the way it turned out after I had painted it, so I just did the crackle paste over the top, and you can kind of see the texture coming through the crackle paste too. So same thing on the front. It was like a peacock feather texture. Anyway, most of that's all covered up. But so then I just applied one of those cards that I make using the packaging from this kind of stuff. Coat it with gesso. No sense throwing it away, right? And then just go to town. One of my little clusters that I make with postage stamps and quotes and words and things like that. I just have a thing for paper, and I have a hard time throwing it away, and I'm pretty good at finding a use for most of it. So anyway, and then just some little paper flowers and stuff like that. There's a brad, one of those Tim Holtz brads that has the jump ring attached on the front, so you can hang things off of it. So I attached some little charms on chain to the front. One thing that I think is kind of fun to do is to take an old earring. If this is an old, well, I don't know if it's old or not, but it looks old anyway. It's an earring, a post earring, and I'll just pick these up, in bags of junk jewelry, or even at the dollar store and stuff if they're pretty, and then I just use my pliers and turn the post of the earring into a loop so I can use it as a charm. So kind of a good good little idea there. Anyway, so some little charms and some paper flowers that I painted with, what's that stuff called? Liquid leaf. So anyway, so here we go. Oh, and then just the ball chain closure that I've been using quite a bit lately. Pretty sturdy. It doesn't require any tying or anything like that, and I really like that. Although can't really extend it very well unless you wanted to use, like if the book got a lot fatter, you'd probably want to replace the chain with a larger piece. But then there's a couple of these little tags that I've been making. With a picture of my grandma right there. And I buy these tags at, this one's just plain, but coffee dyed. I buy these tags at Staples. It's like 100 for like, I think $7.99 or something like that, which I think is kind of pricey, but I don't know. I just like them, so I'll buy them. Anyway, and then just an old key. So I like those little tags. And anyway, so here we go. I'll do a quick flip through on here. I do coat, wanted to say this, I do coat the crackle paste after I dye it with some kind of clear varnish. I've been using this lately. It's pretty thin, but it actually works really well, and it prevents it from chipping off and that kind of stuff. And make sure that it really saturates that paste again. So anyway, here we go. So I'm going to be pretty quick about flipping through this, I think, because considering this is actually the second time I've made this video. First time I had to stop and go pick up Sebastian from work, and I don't think there's any way to pause the webcam video, and also I don't know how to splice two videos together, so maybe one day I'll figure that out. In the meantime, here we are. So this is actually kind of cool. This little, it's like a coin envelope. I inherited a really, really old photo album, and inside the photo album was the packaging for these photo corners. And I thought that was really neat that that was still in that book. So I actually opened it up, scanned it, and then I've printed off copies of it and made my own little like coin style envelopes out of that packaging. Anyway, so I have more than one, and then just filled it with some little pieces of paper, little goodies. And this little, this is actually a hairpin that I just stuck on here. So you can use it wherever you want, but I thought it looked really pretty on there. This is from a coloring book that a coffee dyed. So I like to take little pieces of fabric or ribbon or whatever, and use a little ribbon crimp, and then attach a little jump ring on there so I can just slip it onto a paper clip. Anyway, just some little teeny little tag, some little cutouts. This is from some game. I don't know what it is, but they're all like chemistry, like formulas and stuff on there. Anyway, they're kind of neat. One thing about doing a flip through is that you spend a lot of time putting stuff back together. Anyway. envelope made out of book paper from an old Mother Goose book that I disassembled. This is from the Flow book for paper lovers. Oh my gosh, I love those books. Every year that they come out, I usually buy at least 2 copies and then tear one apart, use every shred of paper out of it, and then I hoard the other one because maybe in 20 years, who knows, it might be worth tons of money. That's if I can hang on to it that long without breaking into it. Anyway, from a coloring book. This is from some stationery that I've had for probably 10 years. I've never written anybody anything on it, but I love the paper so much. Had the coffee diet though. Book paper from an old etiquette. It's rules of etiquette for all occasions. And this is how to write letters and things like that. It's kind of funny how much we used to pay attention to that kind of thing. I mean, we still try to have manners, but back then it was like everything. At least some people try to have manners, I guess. This is that Floribunda coloring book. That's the name of the coloring book that I cut apart. I'm almost tempted to buy another one of them just so I can cut it apart. I think it makes really cool tags. I'm not that talented. I'm not talented enough to actually color those. I do have a thing for coloring books too. I've probably got, I don't know, 150 of them. I work in a call center, so I do a lot of that kind of stuff when I'm at work. It's where I get a lot of paper cutting done too, or assembling simple things, that aren't too messy. Those little Tim Holtz paper clips are sure are sturdy. It's amazing how much that little tiny clip can hold. Might have a little too much in that corner tuck spot there, but oh well. It's a little coin envelope I made out of. This is some book paper decoupaged with a paper napkin. And these tabs, I cut out on my scan and cut. I'm not sure where I got the file from, but I make my own. That's one thing I love about the scan and cut is you can basically cut out any shape that you can create an image of. And oh my gosh, it does all kinds of stuff. It'll cut, you can make rubber stamps, and I've cut wood veneer with it before. Actually turned out really cool. Well, I had a piece that I had cut out. I can't find it right at the moment, but piece of wood that I cut with that scan and cut. pretty cool. Okay, some more coloring book. Stamp. And I coffee dye these. Cut out all these little tags on the scan and cut too. I need to actually cut some more of those. I've been using a lot of them. This is from Postcard. That little gold leaf color thing. I like to leave the strings long on my tags. I know a lot of people just make like a short little thing on there, but I don't know, I kind of like them long, just in case you want to hook them onto something, you know? Coloring book. And I love the postage stamps that are still attached to the envelope. I just think that looks cool. It's a copy of one of my family pictures. That's my grandpa Conrad right there. Sometime in the 40s, I think. The glassine bag, some little random bits in there. Yeah, I'm getting sleepy, but I wanted to get this done so I could upload it. Well, that's just to show there's a pocket there, and then this piece of coffee dyed paper. Sheet music cover. A couple of tags. Oversized tags. I love vellum. Just love the texture of it. This is from the Flow book. This is drawing paper. Oh. Coffee dyed paper again. Oh, there's nothing in there. There. Let's put something in there. About this little guy. And this little guy. There. Have a thing for that coloring book. I got a lot of tags out of that book. Just cut up to random sizes. These little clips are so tight. It's super hard to get them off and on. Anyway, I just attach little little tiny things in this journal with the clips for the most part. And my hands look absolutely horrid. I do wash my hands, believe it or not, but I have ink all over my hands all the time. Stamp. This is a card from some game that I bought at a thrift store. I don't know what the game is, but there were some cool images on the card, so anyway, I've been using those. And I'll just staple a, piece of paper here and there throughout the books. Stamp attached to the envelope still. Flow book. Sheet music cover. Try to think of if all this old stuff, like these little stamps and stuff like that, what kind of thing do people actually put into a book where they're planning their day or things like that? You might want to have some random postage or something, or there's a little ticket there, and maybe you wrote a note on this little guy and you don't want to lose it. So that's kind of what I'm thinking in my head is what would be normal stuff that you would see in somebody's, basically their planner back in the day, coloring book. The care and management of children, or health and happiness for the little ones. What's in there? Oh, come here. Oh, little tickets. Little tickets. Probably could tuck something in there. Like, oops, that. Life's too short to wait. And I got that, I think it's Martha Stewart, that photo corner punch. I kind of started using it. I'm trying to make myself use it, but they're kind of a pain attaching to stuff. So, I don't know. But I love photo corners. I need to start using those more. This has Inca Gold on the inside. And I actually did a little bit around the outside edge too on there. I love Inca Gold, especially when it gets kind of hard or kind of dry. Then it almost acts like a crayon or something. So anyway, all right. Well, there's that, and this journal I'm gonna try to get listed on Etsy. Like I said, within the next couple of days. So anyway, well, thank you for watching, you guys. Have a good sleep. I know I'm going to bed here in just a minute, as soon as I clean up some of my mess. Anyway, thank you for watching. Good night.